Welcome back, everybody. When I say estate planning, do you just think of really wealthy people?
Well, it's actually something we all should be thinking about, and the experts at One Law are here to help us get started.
Yeah, attorneys Daniel Walsh and Christina Peterson are here. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Okay, Christina, let's start with you, and let's talk a little bit about what types of documents we should have in place as we're doing estate planning.
Well, estate planning is very personalized, but in general, there should be a document that would dispose of the assets upon someone's passing, whether that be a will or a revocable trust. There should also be a healthcare power of attorney, so if someone becomes incapacitated during their lifetime, there's someone set up to make their healthcare decisions. And lastly, another document we would generally consider would be a general durable power of attorney, which would appoint someone to make their financial decisions if they became incapacitated.
Okay.
Now, if someone needs long-term care, can that change their estate plan?
It certainly can. You know, long-term care can be anything from getting a little care in your own home. Maybe we have some in-home care providers. Sometimes it's an assisted living facility. And then the most intensive care would be if I go to the nursing home. Now, we tend to talk a lot about nursing home issues because it is the most expensive level of care. In this area, you typically see anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000 per month. And so you can just imagine if I don't prepare for that, that's going to drain my estate fairly quickly. So there are a couple of possibilities we always look at. The first is you can always consider long-term care insurance. Now, that's insurance that will pay for this type of care if you need it eventually. I always encourage people, talk to your insurance agent, see what it covers, what it costs, see if I can qualify from a health standpoint, because if I can qualify and fit it into my budget, that's an excellent way to cover this cost. Now, for whatever reason, sometimes people don't have that insurance, so then we look at, should I finance this cost out of my own pocket, or do we look at the Medical Assistance Program, or Medicaid? Medicaid's the program that will pay this cost of care if you meet their requirements. There are a lot of different things we can do with assets to qualify people for the Medicaid program. Of course, the concern always is, I don't want to lose my entire nest egg. And that's always the concern. If I need that long-term care, even the best estate plan can come unraveled. The children and the grandchildren I want to inherit my estate are going to inherit nothing. So we always encourage people, take a look at that when they get their estate planning in place.
Sure. Well, let's say, worst case, we don't have an estate plan. What happens at that point? Who's making the decisions?
Well, generally in that situation, the state actually has its own structure of how your assets would be dispersed upon your passing. Sometimes that's not always what an individual would want. Some people would maybe want to give to a charity, a friend, or a more distant family member, which is why it's best to look at an estate plan. And with your financial power of attorney and your health care documents, if those aren't in place, oftentimes the family will be required to go through a guardianship proceeding to have the court appoint someone to make those decisions for you.
Let's touch briefly on the cost of contacting an attorney for estate planning services.
Yeah, I can tell you in our office, we always do a free initial half-hour consultation because a lot of times people are just concerned with coming to an attorney. I don't know what to bring. I don't know what we're going to talk about. So the thinking is, let's have people come in. They can meet us. They can decide whether they're comfortable with us. And we can find out a little bit about this family, see what's going on in the family, what type of documents they need. And since estate planning is such an individualized process, we need that initial meeting so we can get a handle on what's needed, and then we can give people a better idea of the cost.
Okay, well, you heard some expert advice here on estate planning, and the One Law Group has experts in several areas of law with locations in De Pere, Applewood, and Lakewood. You can get more information at onelawgroupsc.com or call 336-5766 or toll free 866-525-5200.